You're watching Dante's
Boxing Nation.
Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So within the last 24 hours, it was rumors or reports by Mike Coppinger. It all started from Mike Coppinger, who works with ESPN. The word was Canelo Alvarez has officially agreed and signed to fighting Bivol and Golovkin in a 2-fight deal with Matchroom in DAZN. According to these reports, Bivol had already signed his portion of the contract. But Golovkin, he didn't sign the contract yet. There were obviously some things that he wanted to possibly revise on that contract. Not only that, but if this fight does happen, according to the reports, it won't only be on DAZN, it'll also be on pay-per-view, which obviously goes against or completely goes against their selling pitch. Because when DAZN was first launched, that's what they were promoting. We're bringing fights back. No more pay-per-view. You pay this $9.99 a month and you no longer have to pay $60, $70, $80, or $90 for a pay-per-view fight. So now apparently DAZN, they're going back in time, but it's understandable. I know the reason why they're doing it. It makes sense why they're doing it, because they lost so much money paying fighters like Canelo Alvarez over $30 million to fight a Rocky Fielding and paying Gennady Golovkin way over $10 million to fight a Steve Rose, and hardly anyone tuned in to watch the fight. So now the only way DAZN is going to be able to pay Canelo this big money is to put the fight on traditional pay-per-view. So after ESPN's Mike Coppinger reported that Canelo Alvarez has agreed to this 2-fight deal to fight Dmitry Bivol and Gennady Golovkin, he soon had to delete his post, because then Canelo responded to him and basically called him a liar. This is what Canelo said. He said, "I don't even agree. I'm still negotiating. Don't lie to people. The day everything is signed, that day I'll let them know. For now, there's nothing concrete." Now, the first thing I noticed, at least what Canelo Alvarez made pretty clear in that statement or response, is he's not denying anything that David Benavidez's team has said, when they said that he was offered $50 million to fight David Benavidez, and David was willing to take $5 million. That offer, according to the Benavidez team, it was offered 10 days ago, and Canelo, he rejected it. So we know there's a very good chance that Canelo Alvarez is definitely not even entertaining fighting David Benavidez, at least this year. Because if that fight was on the table, David Benavidez's people, they would have definitely at least admitted that they were in negotiations. I also noticed that Canelo Alvarez, he didn't deny that Bivol has already signed his portion of the contract. So this leads me to believe that Canelo Alvarez is leaning towards the DAZN 2-fight deal. It could be possible that Canelo, he was just making it very clear that the negotiations are still ongoing. It could also be possible that Canelo is still considering the Jermall Charlo fight. I've already told you guys, it would seem to make the most sense for him to take the Jermall Charlo fight, especially after Jermall's worst performance. Then Jermall would have to move up in weight. That seems like that would be Canelo's safest fight, and Canelo usually does take the safest approach, unless he thinks that Bivol is safer than Jermall Charlo, which is possible. I've already told you guys, Canelo can be looking at things completely different. Canelo can be looking at things like, sure, Jermall, he looked terrible against Montiel, but what if the Jermall that beat Derevyanchenko shows up? What if the Jermall that beat Julian J. Rock Williams shows up the night of the fight? Because if that Jermall Charlo shows up, then Jermall may actually be the most dangerous out of the three. Once again, there's probably a lot of things going through Canelo Alvarez's mind right now, but we're going to find out really soon. But going back to what I told you, for them to say that Bivol, even though it was just a rumor, to put something out there like that Bivol already signed a contract, and Canelo didn't come out and say, what are they talking about? We never even sent him a contract. The fact that Canelo didn't deny that leads me to believe that there's some truth to it. Now, even though it would make more sense for Canelo Alvarez to take all of the toughest challenges at 168 before he moves up to 175, regardless of what Canelo does, if these are the only options on the table, the good news for boxing fans, at least real boxing fans, is we're finally going to see Canelo Alvarez challenged. He hasn't been in a real fight in 4 years, or at least 3 years. The last fight that resembled a competitive fight was the Danny Jacobs fight. That was 3 years ago. And when I say resembled a competitive fight, I mean on paper going in. Going in, that was a hell of an upgrade because he had fought Rocky Fielding before he took the Danny Jacobs fight. And out of the 3 best black fighters to fight, of course, Canelo Alvarez, he picked the one who had been knocked out already and had 2 losses on his record, as opposed to the undefeated ones that had been calling him out even longer than Danny Jacobs, which was Andre and Jamal Charlo. You know, Canelo Alvarez's boxing career is a lot like the Olympics. We have to wait almost every 4 years to see Canelo Alvarez in real meaningful competition. And right now it's looking like Olympic season for Canelo Alvarez. Bivol will definitely be a very, very tough fight for Canelo if he takes that fight. So it should be really interesting to see what he does. I'm hoping that Canelo Alvarez, he's not trying to force the Zone or PBC to include McAboo in the contract, because this is what he did with the Yildirim fight. You know, in order for him to take the Smith fight, he wanted Yildirim to be part of the deal. And he got what he wanted. Hopefully that's not going to be the case in this situation. Hopefully PBC and the Zone, they stick to their guns and they only leave the tough options on the table for Canelo Alvarez. We should hear an announcement really soon. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Diki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodiki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. So to get this hookup, make sure you follow and contact my man Scalp Carolinas on Instagram.